And as I pointed out before, there are a small handful of people within this space that give generally good advice to young men who are looking for it on, how to stay in shape, how to have a sharper mindset, things to value versus things that aren't, really don't bring you that much fulfillment. There is some good stuff in there, but again, more and more, it's just a lot of negativity and self-defeat. You know what I mean? In the messages, a lot of the messages basically will just be, when women are in their 20s, they do whatever they want, and then they get older, and then they realize that their clocks are ticking. And so then they go after guys that they're just the suckers, and I'm that sucker. And that's always their message. So, because, a lot of these guys, they may be in their early 30s or maybe they're younger, you know what I'm saying? But they always see themselves as that dude, as that guy who she doesn't really want. She's going to leave. She's going to cheat on. She's going to, so it's like when you go into the dating market like that, you really can't have any positive interactions with women. They're going to smell that on you from a mile away because you're already telling yourself what's going to happen with everybody you meet, because it's like, there's no nuance. There's no gray area. It's just, a lot of the especially, again, the content creators, because they know that their audience gets lost and drowned and binge watches their content because they just say the same things over and over again. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a hug space for like, it's okay, bro. I'm here to protect you from the big, bad, scary woman. And, like they act like it's like finally a place where men can gather. And like we've never had those spaces before. But again, these content creators for an hour to an hour and a half, all they're really doing is saying women are sluts, women are useless. Even going as far a lot to say is like, who cares if a woman has an orgasm? Like, well, that's a subject for another day. If you don't care if a woman has an orgasm, that may be why they don't stick around. One of the many reasons they don't stick around, but you probably don't even get that far. Which is, again, why you think that women owe you something. It's just the anger that people in this community have is entitlement, because you don't have anything to be angry about. I know plenty of people who, plenty of men who aren't very, physically attractive in terms of whatever society general standards would be. They're pretty short. They may be a little bit overweight, but they cool as hell. They funny. They're confident. They got, they have interesting lives. And they're just good people, and they're cool people, and they do great with women, and they aren't, the prototype of what all these guys say, you have to be X, Y, and Z or else women, you're just a sucker. Versus someone like me, like I'm the prototype of what all these guys think that you have to be to do so well with women. And I do great with women, and a lot of the things in my prototype do help me. I'm 6'6", I'm good looking, I got a great physique, I'm successful. But again, it's those other things, being cool, being charismatic, being empathetic, being able to listen, knowing how to have a good time. All of those things that really do the trick. You know what I'm saying? So, because at the same time, there's plenty of women who, I got all these aesthetic things and, I'm the prototype, but they're still not interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter how successful you are, how much money you got, how cool you are. There's going to be a lot of women who, they're not interested. They may not be interested for a lot of reasons, because these guys talk about women like they have no practicality in their decision-making with men. It's just all like, either you're alpha and she can't resist you, or you're too beta and she'll be out the door. But, especially once you get past that euphoria stage, women become pretty practical, if they're healthy, especially, they become pretty practical about how they go about dealing with men. You know what I'm saying? Like they start thinking about like, well, maybe we live an hour away from each other. That may be a little difficult and we got to address that. Or our careers aren't really that compatible. Or maybe there's certain things about his views towards family or his views towards religion, or they start thinking about stuff like that. You want to know why? Because they're people. It's not that complicated, but these guys don't see them as people. So again, like it's really just not that healthy or helpful of a space, because people get there and then they just get lost in the negativity. You know what I'm saying? And they just come out and then they literally start saying things in self-defeat to where it's like, basically, if a woman's choosing me, bro, it's because she's on her last leg and she needs X, Y, and Z. And she's just waiting on some other Giga Chad to come along, and I'm just a sucker in the meantime. And it's like, well, if that's how you see yourself and that's how you treat yourself, then of course other people are going to see you like that. You know what I'm saying? And it just bleeds through because it's like, oh, there's no hope for me, bro. There's no hope for anybody out here. Men are so overlooked. And obviously, men go through mental health issues, and men do have legitimate issues in society. But the way to address that isn't to blame women for it. You know what I'm saying? It's to have some introspection. You know what I mean? And to, like I talked about last week, get over whatever it is that you so caught up on. It's really not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, let some time go past. Shit really ain't that big of a deal.